I think. Gonna have to have Chris Spencer confirm.
Don't see us yet. Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay, cool.
Hello. It's lagging a little bit.
Oh, we got some people coming in. Hey, everybody. Is it ready shot pretty good?
Yeah.
Just make sure that without my head cut off. Sit up right. What?
We're lagging, so it's like we talk and then I'm watching us talk again. So I gotta turn the volume off because it's gonna screw me up.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We're out in the field, me and Chris. We just serviced 4 of our 6 cameras, and we're starting a little bit early just so that way everybody gets a chance to get in here and hang out. But yeah, we got 4 of the 6 done. We're doing the other 2 in the morning. And we already built some camera stuff this weekend. I built some thermal cores to get more trues together for field deployments. So, been plenty busy. Plenty busy.
We got 2 mile. It's like 2 mile hike one way tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit more.
Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully the weather holds for us.
2 of our trees are up a road that's washed out now, so we have to hike in.
Yeah.
At some point we might have to pull them if the snow levels drop too much.
Or if the road completely goes out. There we go.
Oh yeah, I'm going all in on the beard. I was toying with the idea of shaving it just the other day. I took no shave November to the extreme. I guess it was no shave October is when I started. Yeah.
I shaved all mine off just a week ago or so. Did my head and my face. Got it cleaned off. Oh.
It's nice in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Keeps your face warm, but
we're hanging out in a new camp. We're calling this camp
wraparound.
Wraparound camp. And we're basically on the other side of a ridge line that runs through. We usually camp on the other side, the north side. Now we're on the south side. In a deep valley. We're out at the outflow where the valley spills out at the bottom to the big main valley that cuts through the Cascades. And there's a lot of box canyons up here, some old growth timber. We're on the edge of an old growth stand right up behind us. Some pretty waterfalls, some pretty creeks.
It's actually a really beautiful area. We were surprised when we got here. It's like, holy crap, we have a reception, so
yeah,
let's do a live feed.
We thought, why not? If we got good signal and we're out here, might as well have you guys with us. Out here by the fire. Cooked some sausages, some beef sausages, and had some chips to survive. It's been pretty quiet so far. Haven't even heard an owl or anything. It's been quiet.
We're probably just under 2,000 feet right here, right?
Yeah, just under 2,000.
Snow level's up about 3,000 feet.
Yep, starting to come on.
This is definitely an area this time of year that the target subjects would be passing through.
Oh yeah. The wraparound camp location is named because it's where a mountain knees out at the bottom to almost a south-facing slope. And so it creates this place for like elk that want to be able to sun themselves for when it's cold, and gives them a place to kind of wrap into a valley to avoid wind and bad weather. So this is like kind of a perfect pinch point for things that want to just stay hunkered down, but then have easy access to get out in the open and catch some of the infrared coming out through the atmosphere. So it's a good spot. Something might come through.
Yeah, it's still mild temperatures.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably in the high 30s, low 40s right now.
Yeah, it's about 42, 41.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, we found enough wood to gather up to go with this starter log. And
it's actually putting off some heat, but it's a smoky wet fire.
yeah, we're actually drying other wood all the way around the fire right now, trying to get it to get some oomph back. Yeah, put this guy right here. It's a good spot.
Anyone got any questions, fire away. We're just relaxing. I'm full.
Same.
Yeah, we come out every 2 to 3 weeks to replace batteries and SD cards in the thermal units. And if I have audio out, I service that. I don't have any audio out at this moment. I actually brought an LTR with us, so tomorrow Nathaniel and I will probably place it. I might place it around here somewhere. The drive up here, I really like where we're at. So I might do a sampling here for a month and see what happens.
We are running audio here in camp though, right now. Right? You said?
Yeah, I got camp audio
Yeah.
running. Lane County asks, how do you keep internet connectivity while out in the woods? Luck?
Yeah, a lot of luck. We cruise around until we notice that we're hearing our phones ding, 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 and then we check how many bars we got, and we got lucky and found this one little spot right here where when we capped out on this little flat spot, we had enough service. So it's like, well, if we're gonna camp here and we have service, might as well. But we know we have like 5 locations that we've kind of selected that are
For
really,
whatever reason they allow us to do this. So.
yeah. And can you guys hear us all right? Is the audio pretty clear? We have an external microphone hooked up. Just want to be sure that you guys can hear us.
Brendan asks, do the wildlife, including Sasquatch, vocalize as much in the winter as they do in the summer? They can, yeah. Actually, we've had a really mild winter. It depends on really the weather. Obviously, when it's stormier out, you don't pick up as many vocalizations, but nights that it's not windy and not raining, I pick up owls and coyotes just as much as I do in the summertime, in the wintertime. And I would say, as far as Sasquatch goes, what I think are Sasquatch vocalizations, spring and fall are the hottest times, but it depends on the area. Like when I'm recording the nest area, it was until recently this year, but it was pretty consistent year round. The areas that we're working around here, spring and fall seem to be the most noisy times of year. But as far as the known animals, it depends on the weather. When it's storming out, you're not going to record a lot. I've recorded barred owls when it's just absolutely downpouring though. And I've recorded coyotes too, but there will be less vocalization in the wintertime just because of the weather.
Oh yeah. From what I've read, most reports in Washington seem to indicate, like Chris was saying, a little bump in the spring, so May, right around May, and then another bump in August, and that's pretty short-lived, but it tends to be longer, louder calls from most, at least going by reports. And then you get into fall, close to hunting season, right up to that point, there's like a flurry of activity, probably due to the pressure and the scouting and the additional people. Probably at least has a hand or factor in it. And then you get a good dead chunk usually until about February, and then another little burst of audio events seems to come up in the data set for Washington.
Lane County Bigfooters asking, do you find that when it's winter they come lower, in summer they retreat higher up? And that's what the reports show. That's what the known animals do. You watch that snow level line and you'll watch the elk herds come down. I think everything, not a lot of animals want to hang out in knee-deep snow.
It's a big expense of extra calories. You got to keep your metabolic rate higher in order to stay warm. And then, quite frankly, your food, what food is up there, is buried. So, like what he just mentioned, the reports indicate that they come lower, but they come down to what I call edge zones typically. So they'll come down to right where humans stop trying to reach into an area or a wilderness location. Kind of how pressured elk after like September, October, and into muzzleloader season. You'll see elk pressure up into places where hunters cannot get to or have access to. It's not quite up in the snow, but it's right at that line where it's difficult for the hunters to break from the road and get up there. And the Sasquatches seem to do the same thing. The track finds indicate that from the winter time. The few times that we do find snow tracks, they're cut in a zone or dropping over a saddle, and someone finds prints by luck from a snowmobile or snowshoers or something like that. But it's always oriented about trying to get out of the snow for the most part. And hugging those river valleys, catching benches on the way down, because those are places that the person has to go up to get to, but it would be low activity to scrounge around for food in there, in like an old growth stand where they could be eating lichen, they could be rodents, it could be the deer population, it could be a number of things. So
Kyle asks if we're near Forks.
oh yeah, we're right, we're actually right outside Forks. So
sorry I didn't give you the notice, SoCal. It's kind of a last minute deal, as usual.
we do what we can.
Where's the beer? I don't drink. So,
Yeah, especially on these kind of research trips, we don't want to drink. You don't want to alter your perception. You don't want to do anything to change how you view an experience or something happening, make poor decisions, not be able to react. So, I mean, we avoid drinking in the field or at all within the group for the most part. So,
how many trues do we have out right now? We've got 6 out. We were serviced 4 today. We got 2 more to service tomorrow.
Yeah. We're building currently 4 more. Actually, the other night, for anybody interested, you can check out our Facebook page. We post photo updates on there. It's just Study Sasquatch on Facebook. But we post photo updates, and we just posted one the other night about we were up late last night working on building new thermal cameras. So 4 more trues are in process. We did all the programming, tuning, image tuning, and then we did all the lens adjustments for the focal distance and all that stuff, and power testing, and then we had to build some new feed cables and stuff like that. So we're working on getting 4 more out, but yeah, so we'll be up to 10 hopefully in the next month.
Okay. Lane County is asking what the trues are. They're thermal recording units that record for about 2 weeks right now, that we put out in key locations where we hope that a Sasquatch will cross and trigger. Let's see. Oh,
I'll touch on that for a second, just so those who don't understand how they work. So what we call trues are TRU. That's a true, and that represents what Chris already said, the thermal recording unit. They're basically a supercharged thermal imaging version of like a game camera, but they don't have a PIR sensor. They function in a completely different way. They can actually see an animal hundreds of yards out through the timber and in the forest or in an opening, and motion detection set the camera off and start recording. They're faster. They get better overall image quality at distance, and there's no mistaking the animal. You're not relying on an illuminator. There's a bunch of major advantages. So we designed, we are the first to come up with the system. We designed it, prototyped it, and started making them. And we do plan on making them available to the public in the near future. We've been hitting some stumbling blocks getting the components so people can purchase from us, but we do want to make them available to those who are interested in research at a fairly decent price point. So,
Brendan asked, have you ever found Sasquatch tracks in the snow? I have not, but have you?
yeah, not in Washington, but I did back home.
In Michigan?
Yeah, found one set in the snow, and they were pretty fresh, like I think maybe 10 hours old. Freezing rain coming down in them, so the animal chose to move in bad weather, which is not uncommon.
So Lane County Bigfooter says he's been watching your adventures for a long time, Nathaniel.
Oh. Yeah, I'm always doing something. Working on a project, filming, whatever. All over, crawling around up a slope in the woods. That's my thing. Or I'm hunting.
From the Bigfoot forums.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're in Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize Lane County. Yeah. There's some good areas down there, for sure.
Brendan asked ballpark price on the trues. I have no idea on that because I'm just a grunt. I service them.
So the price point that we're trying to hit is right at about $5,000 for a system that comes with a battery, comes with the charger for the battery, comes with the bear-proof, waterproof outdoor housing that you can put the whole system in and leave it in the woods. The camera, the DVR system, all of the image tuning's already done. They'll come with SD cards to store the data. And we've already done all of the programming for all that, so the camera communicates effectively with the system. So hopefully for about $5,000, which is about what you'll pay for your standard little handheld like the one I have right here. But it's like a handheld on steroids because it can run for 2 to 3 weeks depending on the system. And it has motion detection and specifically starts recording when it sees a hot animal come into frame. So it behaves much like a game camera. It's there when you're not. And it can survey power line routes, it can gas routes, stream pathways. Anywhere you think they might be crossing, it'd be a good place. And you get amazing wildlife footage too. Truly amazing footage.
P&W asked, are you using Life Pro 4 batteries? No.
No, we do use a lithium cell currently, and the 4 series is, we've been testing with the 4 series, and we have some other designs on some other power sources in the future, but right now we are playing with those in the system.
There it is. Ugh.
Got smoked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have control of this wind right now.
While I'm out here.
Hey! You gotta draw them in somehow. Apologize if that was loud for some of you folks. We're trying to draw stuff in.
Oh, I see stars.
Yep, moon and the stars are coming out.
Beautiful. SoCal asks, have any reports come in lately from SoCal on flats?
In Southern California, I don't know. I haven't really gone into looking much into California. I haven't looked into that for probably 2 or 3 years, and that was on a whim last time. But I guess I could look, see if anything pops up here soon. I'll get you an answer, SoCal.
Jake asks, how do we fund stuff? We're out of pocket with most of the stuff, but one of our members, Bart Catino, is our main funder right now. So, but for years, it's spend whatever we can scrounge up to pay for stuff. Oh, great. Thanks. Sorry. I don't enjoy smoke in my eyes.
You can come this way a little bit now.
Yeah, I like being off screen.
Okay. Here, I'll just pull it this way a little bit. There you go. Yeah, as far as the funding goes, yeah, it's been mostly out of pocket for getting out here and doing all the research, the gas, all of the equipment we need to do everything. We purchased mostly ourselves before. The primary funding has been was from Bart Catino, another member of the Study Sasquatch and Sasquatch Surveillance Project, which is the project within the channel. And that is to facilitate the keeping a number of these systems that I and Kirk Brandenburg have designed out into the different areas that we've been surveying. We have right now about 5 different areas that we've located that seem to have a population, and those areas produce reports. And the whole project, the Sasquatch Surveillance Project, is oriented around getting these long-term passive thermal imaging systems out there, just surveying travel corridors to hopefully capture and detect animals moving through. That's the goal. And so Bart helped facilitate us in getting enough cameras functioning. Me and Kirk designed and prototyped it, and did all the R&D and finally got a working system. And we want to expand that obviously outward so people can put it to use in their research areas eventually. So very soon. But again, we've been dealing with issues from international shipping, tariffs, that kind of thing they're getting worked out, but it's been time consuming. And then also some camera supplier stuff. We're looking at some options. So
Trying to tweak them for the best full potential.
yeah, I can back up.
Full moon. Well, I can see the light from the moon coming up from the trees, but I can't see the moon itself yet. But it is rising, and hopefully it doesn't start raining again, because just before we started this, it was pouring.
Oh yeah, it was coming down. There, hopefully I'm back enough now that I'm not cutting you off. There you go.
You can cut me off, I don't care. It's supposed to be a super moon.
Oh, it feels good. It's better than it was. It was cold earlier. Got a bunch of. I may have said this earlier, but can you guys hear us all right? Or
Yeah, they said they hear us loud and clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've already looked around with the thermal a couple of times, and the rodents are everywhere. They are everywhere. There's like 10 or 15, I think, are right around camp right now, running all over the place. I haven't even heard any howls yet.
Lane County asks, I think Lane County said he finds prints on reservoirs in the winter, but he asks, do you find prints after new moon when it's darkest? That's one thing he's noticed, his group's noticed. We hardly find prints.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not running in areas that are conducive for prints, and if we find 2 or 3 prints a year, that's about average.
Yep, that's about average.
And honestly, haven't paid attention to what the moon's doing when we have found them.
I would say in my experience, because I've found tracks in a variety of places.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lane County Bigfooters. Lane County Bigfooters is female.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I should have mentioned that to you. I totally forgot.
I'm clueless.
He's not on the Bigfoot forums yet, so. But that's a good place too for discussion on Bigfoot research and stuff. I tune in there about twice a month. I communicate with people and share ideas and videos and concepts, and there's a lot of debate in there. So if you're big into, the argumentation about the whens, whys, and hows of all things Sasquatch, it's a good place to go. A friend of mine named Norseman runs it. He goes by Norseman on the forums. So, yeah, it's a good place.
think I just heard a barred owl.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be a nice night, dude.
I hope so. I'd like to have my windows down so I can hear. We did a little exploring today. We drove up this canyon. We've not been down this road really before. I drove up it at the base a couple years ago, but I never fully explored it. And it goes up into some wild territory. And then eventually all the streams converge and funnel out into the main river at the bottom. Oh, man.
I can feel the heat off the fire.
Yeah, I got that heat reflector wall in the back of all the wood. Makes a difference. Let's see if we can boost this up a little bit more. There you go.
No one's asking any questions. May you hear an 800-pound barred owl.
Yeah, right?
That'd be cool.
Sound like a subwoofer at a speaker.
We're due for something to happen. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Not like we get a lot of action anyways. Usually in the wintertime we do have something happen. Because I think we're more of a curiosity in the wintertime if we're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we've had not far from here, we had a very significant knock event where I got a bunch of reports that told me we needed to be in there by from January through February. And this is back when Chris and I first really started working together.
Yeah.
And I drug him out with me against his will, and we camped out at this old gravel pit area. And I said, let's just do, I know it's rainy and it's cold and it's miserable out here, but let's do a road walk up silently, and then we'll do some knocks and see what happens. So we walked for, 20 minutes up the road?
We walked 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah.
It's very slowly up the road.
Yeah.
And you did your 3 knocks, and I was bored out of my mind, and then something power knocked right next to us.
Well, just before that, we heard movement coming down the hillside.
Yeah, Rebecca had heard movement.
Yeah. And so we got this power knock, and we waited, and then a guy drove by in a truck, taking the side road to cut through the national forest to hook up to another thoroughfare. He had some dogs with him in the truck, and they were barking like crazy. And we stood there and listened. He drove by. We told him we were out there doing some nocturnal wildlife research, and he continued on. And then I said, well, I'm going to do a sound. I'm going to do this sound from the Sierra Sounds. And it goes, anyone who's heard the Sierra Sounds will recognize it. It's, and that is it's got a challenging intonation to it. It's got a gruff and almost like recognize me vibe at the least, no matter what it's saying. It's saying, obviously, to take notice somehow. I call it the challenge sound just because it sounds kind of challenging or aggressive. And it wasn't a few seconds later, another one, which couldn't have been the one that was up on the hill, was down below us in the timber below. And that's what I think what happened is we got between two of these things. One was up on the hill, and it thought one was the other, and the other thought that was one, and it wasn't the case. So I did that sound, and down in the timber, there was a crack. A big limb got snapped off immediately after I did that sound. And we went up the road a little further, and we could hear it down in the one down in the timber and the one up on the slope. And as we walked back to our camp. Whatever it was, these things were, they followed us all the way back to our camp and skirted the whole perimeter about 150 yards around our camp and just kept going around and around. Chris got some audio. You can hear the subtle movement, stick breaks, and other light percussive sounds, if I remember right. And yeah.
Well, we could hear them moving around us. There were 2 of them.
Yeah, there was more than one. More than one.
Oh, there's a question here. Why are gravel pits so prevalent in sightings and audio events? It's so weird.
Well, gravel pits in nature do a couple things. Obviously, they're places where minerals wash down, and deer like that, birds like that. It's open space for predatory birds to make kills. It also is a natural sink for like debris to build up and mushrooms, fungi. There's all kinds of reasons, but primarily it's also just it happens to be gravel pits collect firearms enthusiasts, people camping, hiking. People like to go up to gravel pits, and it could be just that gravel pits are a natural go-to for humans, and that it becomes a repetitious place. The Sasquatches have a high ground advantage in the gravel pit, right? So they can kind of like be way above safely watching a camp. If they're going to approach a camp, that would make the most sense, would be to do it from the vantage point at the top of a gravel pit looking into it. So I think it's more about that the Sasquatches are confident enough when they're kind of quietly otherwise watching, and no one would know to have an encounter. There's lots of times the Sasquatches may be watching that no one knows they're being watched or knows that they have an encounter going on potentially because they're quiet. But these high points on these gravel pits make them probably feel more confident, more willing to make noise, try to spook them out. And so you just get this unusual propensity of reports to occur around gravel pits, would be my guess.
Here you go. I gotta go get rid of coffee.
Oh, you're good. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I kind of practice. I practice my vocals in the car, sometimes in the shower. Yeah, I do a little bit of that. Yeah. Where's everybody else? Kirk came and joined us today for some deployment, but he had to head home, so it's just me and Chris, and Rebecca's home resting. So, I'll get back to Chris on that question about where would he go. Yeah, right here. He says right here. He'd go right here. All right, let me see here. Yeah, we're between rain events, correct. I got a feeling it's going to come back in and we're going to get clouded up and then it'll come down again. Yeah, wouldn't say Kirk wimped out. He just there was other things going on. Yeah, Chris says he wimped out.
I said that in the chat too.
Oh, okay.
That's me if you're reading.
Okay. Well, no, yeah, okay. Yeah, the pip sound, I'm not sure. I've not heard anything quite like that. Yeah, they... Chris. We're definitely letting everything know that we're here. That's for sure. Yeah, they always... It's every encounter I've had where the animal initiated or the creature initiated... they like to have the high ground or the advantage, be on the other side of a canyon, be up high, or just have some big obstacle between you and them, whether it be a berry patch like blackberries or something. It's pretty consistent. Oh yeah, upside down fire pit. Yeah, we've done that before. We just there was already a fire ring here, so we just kind of defaulted to it. We also bring my solo stove, which is a smokeless pit, and I use that frequently, and it's really nice. For dinner we had beef sausages and barbecue flavored Ruffles, and I ate a protein bar.
Beef hot dogs.
Beef hot dogs, my mistake. Does Chris leave out a baby Ruth after the yell? No, but that's something we could definitely try. You're getting all kinds of laughs and emojis over your hey you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, breakfast of champions. Yeah. I won't lie, when I camp, I usually do the easy thing. I bring either a can of something or packaged protein bars or something, so I don't have to worry about it going bad, and I can shove it in my pack as much as I need for getting up into the hills. SoCal says, I heard sloth.
That's me.
I'm not too young for that reference. I watched that movie of when I was like 7. It was very common back in the time.
Great.
Yeah. I was a 90s kid. That's totally appropriate. 1993. It was like Frosted Flakes, SpongeBob, Goonies, and Hot Pockets, and deer hunting, and long bike rides out late until the streetlights came on. That's how I grew up. Well, SoCal, you're just telling us how old you are. He said, I saw that movie in the theater.
We got movement down here.
We do?
Yeah.
Nice. Chris says we're hearing something below the camp or above?
Yeah, it could be elk, but something large is moving in the brush down there.
Yeah, occasionally we're breaking away with the thermal to kind of see stuff. I'll probably take a clip over there in a second. I like to. I've done hammock. Hammock is kind of miserable unless you have an underquilt in the winter.
It is very miserable
because you can get water running down your slack strings into your bed in nylon. But if you have an underquilt and a large enough tarp, it's fine. But I just generally don't do it anymore. I have neck problems and the hammock doesn't help. There is a trick where you can twist about 25 degrees in your hammock in a 2-person hammock and level out. And I've done that. It does help. But most of the time, I'll either do tent or I'll camp out in the bed of my truck here, and that's what I end up doing. We drove in. This fire's gonna let me down.
It's because the enduro logs are burning out.
Yeah, we might have to really start beefing up the flame use of the wood, dried up wood now. Try to beef it up here a little bit. There we go. Have I ever seen a UFO? I've seen twice. I've seen an object that I couldn't identify what it was in the sky, but I couldn't get enough clarity on it to tell what it was. Actually, the one I saw in Michigan, my aunt came flying into our driveway and said that they saw a UFO and it was coming towards us along the power lines. So we all went out in the yard and saw it, and I took a picture of it. I got a picture of it somewhere on my dad's little 1.4 megapixel Panasonic digital camera. Orbs? No, I've never seen what you would call orbs. I have seen an anomalous light, but it wasn't like a drifting around orb. It was just a basketball-sized globe of light, about like that, down in the brush.
That's an orb.
I didn't do what the orbs people say they do. I don't know. Anyways, I tried to touch it, and I looked at it through thermal, and I couldn't identify any heat signature or energy coming off of it. Couldn't even see it. It was like it wasn't even there on thermal. And when I tried to touch it, and I got like me close to the fire, and I reached out to touch it while I was looking through my thermal, and we reached out, and it just collapsed on itself and was gone. So whatever that kind of a thing is, that anomaly does occur. I don't necessarily think it's Sasquatch related. I've never had a Bigfoot interaction in a wilderness area and then orb showed up personally. I've had it the other way around where I've been in a remote area exploring and, like I said, encountered that. So, no, we are not in a one-man tent. You want to guess who sent that in?
I don't know. I'm sleeping in my truck.
Yeah. SoCal.
Give me my phone.
Yeah. And there's a new one at the bottom. I didn't see that one yet.
Let's see. Yeah, we're just using Nathaniel's cell phone, and then he's got an actual external mic for it, for the live chat. Jake says it sounds great.
Good. Yeah, for anyone wanting to know what microphone that is, it's the Movo VXR10 Pro. It's a great little shotgun mic that is compatible with most cameras. It's a wonderful little guy. Not expensive either. Audio quality seems pretty good. I love that thing. Not the kind of thing you'd want for audio recording, but it's good for like directional sound.
I saw Star Wars at the drive-in SoCal when they used to have drive-ins.
They have one, I think, up by Olympia somewhere still.
There's one left in Washington. It's actually just south of Shelton.
That might be the
Me
one.
and Rebecca talk about going to it every summer. They put a Home Depot and a Walmart in where the drive-in was in Longview, where I'm from. Have a good night, Lane County.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Fire's acting like a little rocket.
Well, that's the Enduro log burning out.
Got some of this wood. It should be about dry enough to start burning. Keyword should. If I can here.
And we'll see how long the fire lasts now.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get down here and drive some oxygen in there.
I highly recommend Enduro logs for wintertime camping. Usually I bring 2 or 3. They last a good 3 hours a pop. And ours is almost done because we started as soon as we got here.
Might start burning pretty good now.
So I have used parabolic mics. I'm not, if I sit in my tree stand, that's about the only time I would bring a parabolic to isolate where I might be hearing something. But when we're camping like we are right now, I just have the SM4 Mini outside of camp. It's probably 30 or 40 yards from us, and it does good at picking up anything that might happen around camp that we don't notice. I take note of it's got stereo mics on it, so I take note of what direction those mics are in. Right now they're running east-west, and that the strength of the signal and Instagram will kind of tell me where it's coming from. We got kind of an idea of the terrain, and that usually kind of helps us zero in where things may happen. I'm not a big fan of parabolics. They're mono recording, and I've not heard a lot of great audio myself from parabolics. Just my preference. I know a lot of people use them, and that's great. For me, I'm interested in catching 360 sound as clear as possible.
There we go. I think I got it. That should start to brighten up now. Yeah. I think we're burning actual wood now.
Yeah, we are. Some of it's dry.
Check this. We'll just beef this fire all the way up. This is dry on the inside. Let's find the right spot for it. Yeah, it's catching already. Mosses anyway.
It's really quiet now.
Hopefully whatever you heard down there on the slope will come in.
Well, it's interesting. I'm yelling like an idiot, and there's movement down below us.
So we're systematically working these canyons. So we worked one early in the summer or into early October, then mid-October we hopped a canyon over. And in that canyon we had an event happen. Me and Kirk were camped out at a camp we call No Water Camp. It doesn't have any water right nearby. But that area is where a ridge line comes down along basically a fluted canyon runs down off of a main ridge line. We're now on this side of it. And we were on the other, and we were camped on a bench, where a bench kind of wraps around off one of the knees of this fluted canyon that runs off. And we just started yelling and loudly talking and getting worked up over things, being very animated in our speaking and how loud we were. And we heard a distant, and the recorders didn't even pick it up. It was so on the edge of hearing, and the recorders were pointed obviously in different directions. And what we heard was like a mumbling sound. It was like a from way, 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 way up in the timber, up the old skid road that goes up that fluted canyon up to the ridge there. And we wrote it off. We didn't know if it was like some kind of random sound or rumble of a jet maybe in the distance. We had no idea. But at the time, it sounded like kind of people talking, but there's nobody where we were at. Like you see in the video, the name of the video is called Sasquatch Haven. It's on our channel. We had to go in and through a washout and hike down into it and back out of it and back up onto the old road and hike in 2 miles to get to our camp. And that's after about 8-9 miles driving up. Or sorry, it's probably 7.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Because I wasn't even listening to you. Oh, sorry.
You're getting smoked.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever tried using powwow music?
Not yet. It's been on our list. We've wanted to try Himalayan throat singing and some kind of tribal ceremony song. We've thought about those kind of things in the future, especially when we key in another spot where we feel that we're having regular activity. It's already in the plan, but we haven't done it yet. But just to finish, where we hiked up and camped out at the No Water Camp, we heard that mumbling and then nothing for 20-30 minutes, and then a tree, just at the height of me getting worked up in my conversation, a tree goes over about 120 yards from camp maybe.
Yeah.
And then immediately afterwards, and I mean immediately, like maybe 20 seconds after the tree's down, no, it was probably 30 seconds after the tree was down, we heard boom, 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 boom. 4 big steps going down slope below our camp. And the recording of at least one of those steps can be very audibly heard in the recording that we put in the video. And then the next morning, we went to bed, and as we went to bed, something was down there breaking limbs and sticks and stuff, and those recordings are in there as well. And the next morning we went down and we found a trail where something left big, about 16 inches by 8 inches, mashed impressions coming off the edge of a deer trail and going down into the timber. So we think there was a good chance that was something coming into our camp to investigate. So, and now we're on the other side, over here, trying to see if this is an area they're spending any time in.
So, let's see. We got, have you ever had nightmares of Bigfoot chasing you after being a witness to Bigfoot while fishing? I have nightmares of it coming after me. I'll say this. I'm much better, but after my experience in 2013 with my son, I was a mess. I wouldn't camp by myself. I was a mess. I did not sleep while sleeping in a tent for a long time. Now I sleep very comfortably, but I do occasionally have nightmares. And one of our videos,
Sasquatch Stronghold.
Nathaniel didn't put it in the video, but he could have. It would have been funny because we're up there in that lake that we hiked into, and I'm in my little one-man backpacking tent, which is basically like you're like zipped up in a little burrito. And I woke up yelling for Nathaniel because I was dreaming that I was being drug off through the grass by a Sasquatch. And I woke myself up yelling, and Nathaniel's in a tent right next to me, and I hear, Chris, I think you're having a dream. I'm like, yeah. But it got recorded on my audio, and it's
hilarious.
It's hilarious, but yes, I do have nightmares once in a while.
I do too. It's not as often. The first year after my sighting in 09, I had nightmares for about a year, and I actually moved my bunk bed away from the window, blocked all my windows, put up curtains. I'd go feed the animals anymore at night. I left that to my cousin. I completely stopped doing that. And only after I started watching documentaries on primates, bonobos, chimps, and gorillas, did my fear kind of retool almost into fascination to the point of where I research now. I don't get the nightmares hardly ever. Every once in a while I get one, and I just wake up in a cold sweat. But it's very rare. And most of that is because my fear gene or whatever doesn't really work the same way ever since. Things don't freak me out anymore. It's a weird thing. Like if I see a cougar now or a bear or anything up close, it doesn't even bother me. I'm just interested in filming it. So kind of like a radical experience like that, it can either make you absolutely mortified of everything, or it can desensitize you to some stuff.
How can you sit in there, dude? There's so much smoke.
I'm below the smoke.
Holy cow. Hey, Randy. Yeah, I saw your message. I'll check your audio out tomorrow. SoCal said Chris loves waking people up with nightmares. Yeah, there was another time. This was about 6 years ago. Me, Todd, Shane, and a ironworker buddy of mine backpacked into a high lake, and once again I was sleeping in the same little tent, and I started having a nightmare. A bear actually was coming for me, and I woke up screaming, and I woke everybody up, and they're like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. And yeah, there's another time we were camping. It was about 4 years ago. I actually didn't have a nightmare, but I got up, everybody was asleep, and I was going to sneak off and go fishing. And I decided to pull an audio recorder I had placed in a stump 2 days earlier before I left. Well, somehow or another, when I placed it was at night, and I didn't notice anything, but when I picked it up in the morning, there was actually a hornet nest in that stump.
Oh, yeah.
And when I pulled the recorder out of the stump, I noticed it was really warm, and I was like, and I heard a humming, and it didn't dawn on me what was going on. And I looked down, and I see all these black things clustering on my leg, and then I knew, and I started running, and that's when they started stinging me, and they got me right on my ankle. So I was running down this trail, cursing quite a bit. It woke Corson up. He come running out of his tent with his gun, because all he could see was me hopping around behind this log, and he thought like a bobcat or something was attacking me. So, yes, I wake everybody up a lot. Probably too much information.
What is it, like an average of once every 4 years or something?
At least once a year.
Oh.
Once a year I either have a nightmare or I do something stupid and wake people up.
Love it.
Yeah, I woke up SoCal's son too. Let's see.
This fire's struggling with the wet wood.
I do wake you up every trip, don't I?
Who?
SoCal.
Oh, Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Temperature dropped a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and the fire's also not holding like it was.
Thanks, everybody. Glad you liked the videos.
We enjoy sharing our trips out and showing what research is supposed to look like and what it means to actually go out and investigate reports, go out and do field outings. It's smoky in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
right.
surprised anybody can see anything.
I don't know that they can. This fire's pitiful. We're going to be doing a lot more videos where we show people what gear we bring, why we bring it, what it does, and how it helps, and about data collection. We really want to push out there to people what it looks like to be a researcher in a real way. Because a lot of people bring stories, but without some kind of data to scrutinize, it's basically a story. And I have a whole bunch of just stories, and we find me, Kirk, and Chris have collectively it's just worth documenting now. When we go out, we're trying to bring back more than just our word on something. And so that's what we're really trying to get people who call themselves researchers and are out there investigating things and looking into stuff. Bring a recorder, bring a camera, a thermal, and just have it running in your camp. You know,
I got a thermal going right now.
Yeah, we got thermals looking at the perimeter right around us. We have an audio recorder out of camp. We've got the thermals running in all the other canyons nearby. We're just covering all the bases because it only takes one time to get lucky. And that's really what it's about, is about getting good data to demonstrate that these things are really out there, and give people something to look at and see, like, question the subject for real, in a real way. That's what we're all about.
I heard some movement earlier, but it's been quiet. I think I heard a barred owl. I hear the rain coming again.
I should grab that power bank.
No Sasquatch that I know of yet, SoCal.
Can they even see us anymore? Barely.
I got another mini Duralog.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just talk at the camera like they're asking questions.
Just talk at the camera.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Thanks, I guess. We're going to be doing another trip, a longer trip out later this month, and then again in February to investigate an area. And we're also going to be putting out a video, I think, pretty soon of a report we followed up on that we're going to try to move to get published in the BFRO reports database with some really cool art. Someone had their daughter who was there, didn't see it, but the mom saw it. She's going to. They did the artwork
Here.
of what they saw. So.
Right now.
Oh yeah.
All they can see is the fire. They can't. That light we have going.
Okay, now it's gonna go. I dropped it right in the hole on the top. That's gonna brighten.
We do have a little lantern there, but it's not putting off enough light. You can't see us. There's less smoke. Rain's coming back.
Here, it'll brighten up in just a sec. Now, toss that in there. Now I'm getting smoked out.
Your turn.
Yeah, you've been taking the brunt of it. Would you hand me a fireproof one? It's not even lighting.
It'll light.
Look at that thing.
It's old.
It's taking its sweet time. It's taking its real sweet time.
Yes, please do let us know if you see eye shine behind us.
Oh yeah.
That'd be great. I'm about ready to make another cup of coffee.
There we go.
Oh yeah, look, I can see. I can see us.
I'm trying to adjust it so it can really go now.
Highly recommend to bring some dry wood with you when you go out camping in the winter.
Especially in Washington.
I cut up a dead log, but it's still wet.
There, that'll go now. That's
Right on. Dry. Seahawks just beat the 49ers.
Oh, nice. There we go. That'll break. Drive some more oxygen in there real quick. There we go. That's a little better.
We're right at about an hour.
You want to hang out another 15 minutes?
Okay, we'll give it 15 more minutes. Ugh. SoCal wanted you to do your 10-minute impression of what you get, you and Kirk heard again.
Oh, I'm not doing that tonight. No way. I don't got it in me.
I don't want you to do it. You go knock on a tree if you want.
I'm thinking about it. Could do a couple of whoops.
Go for it.
Okay. Gotta do like 2 whoops over here. Whoop! Whoop! Now we listen. Fire's kind of going better, at least.
Yeah, Nathaniel's pretty loud.
Yeah, sorry.
I bust his chops about that a lot.
Yeah. Somebody's got to. Oh,
SoCal says
Yeah.
do the Iron Maiden. We need you here to do that.
yeah, we need Todd Hale to do that. We can't do it. We don't. I don't have the know-how for that.
Joff just came up and blew that smoke right in the face. At least we got a fire again.
Yeah. Makes a difference. You got some flames going.
Coldplay Yellow. You should have brought the game call.
Oh yeah, then you could play it when I'm setting it down in my face.
They could do the raccoons fighting again.
I want to do a baby screaming one pretty soon.
Do you guys eat beans for dinner? Maybe their sounds would bring them in.
Yeah, I try to actually avoid that because we end up riding in rigs together a lot, and it just wouldn't be a great experience being like smelling each other that much. wouldn't be as much fun. There we go. Can hear the rain coming down now.
Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap this up. We're at an hour. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll provide an update, I'm sure, if something happens. But for now, we're just gonna hang out and listen. And
It's starting to rain pretty good, and that's all you're gonna hear.
at least I think it's a shotgun mic, but I don't know if they can hear the rain or not on the card.
Oh, we're in Southwest Washington, Varix.
Yep, we operate all the way from Pierce County all the way down to Skamania County.
Okay, shut her down.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Take her easy, everyone.
Now I gotta remember how to stop this thing again.
Yeah, you can watch us fumble with his phone now.
Well, because there's not a stop button is the problem.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can stop it.
Should be a red button that says stop.
There's not. That's the annoying part. Okay.
Pick your phone up off the tripod.
Well, if I do that, yeah, it's gonna be all wonky.
Who cares? It's the end of the freaking live stream.
Alright, where's the stop? Close. No, that's not the right one. Okay. I think I stopped it. Oh, no, just turn the camera.
You stopped it.
Okay, because it still says live.
Well, it just got your Bigfoot face.
Yeah, I think I just turned the camera off is all I did. Yeah, all I did was turn the camera off. Okay, I found it. Alright, folks, thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.